We will talk about the Champions League race because, like I said, Chelsea get 3 points up on everybody because everybody else in that race dropped points. Let's do it in order by the table. So we'll start with United. We'll then go to Villa, Chelsea. We'll just do them together. And then we'll finish with Liverpool so we can really hammer it home. Do you guys want to start with your thoughts on United? And then I can say mine since I already have a video out.
I think they are, I like that. And I'll try to be quick with this. I think they're most likely out of the four kind of mids. You know what I mean? Like all four of these teams are very up and down to me in terms of you just don't know what you're going to get every week. But I think United have such an advantage to only have the Premier League to worry about. I think they're much fresher than these other teams. So for me, regardless of the problems I think they have, I mean, I've been saying it, but with the attackers you guys have brought in, that alone has raised the floor so much. And I think of these four teams, you're the most likely. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. There's definitely room for improvement, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, Mila.
Grant got it pretty on the nose. Yeah, you guys have the legs. A little setback against Newcastle, but should be good going forward. I'm not too stressed about United in this Champions League race.
Yeah, it was disappointing. Look, I was fucking pissed. Right, it's the second time we've lost to 10 men this season, and that's frustrating as a fan. St. James's Park is a tough place to go play, so that shouldn't be an excuse. I would have been okay with that excuse had we just lost with 11. But I think from an overarching standpoint, what this told me is this team is nowhere near ready for 2 times a week. And we've seen that throughout the course of the year. Like every time that even if you want to go into the Carrick portion, we had the 2 times a week with West Ham and we drew. This team is just, the depth is not there. And I went on like a 3-minute soliloquy about how Tyrone Malacia fucking played for my club.
That was great.
In a match where we were up by a man. So I think that's really where I'm at, and getting a couple of days here to sit on the result is, I know that there's 2 things to this. One, being off for that much time is bad because that's when United have looked the worst, is at the beginning portion of matches, right? The Crystal Palace game, some of the other results, like during the beginning portions, they're bad. The middle portions of the game, they've been, I would say, good to very good, which has helped them get results. And then as the game progresses towards the back end of the 90s, where they don't have depth, that's where they lose out on matches or potentially drop points. Or C.O.C has been the guy to lift the rest of the team, right? And that's why he's been so important, because he's an actual good sub. But what it tells me, you, and everybody is it just confirms everything we've been saying, is this project was always a 3-4 window project, especially not getting UCL this season. So it just hammers home the point of they need reinforcements in so many different parts of the field. And if you get UCL, there is zero excuse. And if they don't spend the money, we all know how serious this project is or isn't or can be.
Mm-hmm.
What color scarves are Ineos out?
I'm assuming the same.
I think we need to have a distinction. There needs to be a new 2-color pattern. I propose purple and orange.
Because the Blazers are...
There's a reason the colors are there.
I know.
But in terms of your guys' just transfer rumors and scouting that has been popping up, the depth seems to be a piece, because every time it pops up, it looks like you're looking at 2 guys, not 1 guy, but a package deal where you can bring more depth in the team for a favorable price. Instead of getting 1 guy for 90 million, you get 2 guys for 90 million.
Mm-hmm.
And they've all seemed to be Premier League associated players. They know the league. So I think in terms of that issue going into next season, it seems like the board is addressing it, or at least looking into it early, so that it won't be an issue in the transfer window, so long as you guys get that Champions League.
Yeah, we spent, how much was it this summer without Champions League football? It was like
250, something like that.
So then if you add in the full price of Højlund and Rashford and some of the other guys that are going to go, United should be spending it should be close to a Liverpool size window. It should be somewhere in the ballpark of 300 to 350. We spent 200 this one.
I know.
You need any center halves?
They I think are in the market, but we'll
We've got
save
some for sale.
that United topic for the upcoming international window, because Andy Mitten did report that United are potentially shopping in Spain. And I don't know what that means, but I have one player in mind that I'd love, and I'm just going to leave him for that later down the road.
Oh, you're not even going to tell us?
No. We'll wait.
Oh,
We'll leave our viewers hanging. You guys will find out literally after the pod, but our viewers are going to have
I'll
to
probably
stick
forget by
around for
now.
that.
By then,
That's also fair. But that's enough on United. A blip, hopefully, in that next Villa game, which we'll preview in the next episode.
I think you made a great point. You have like 15 good players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's a big drop off. So
Malacia played. that's all you need to know.
Speaks.
Let's start with Villa, and then we can do Chelsea, because they got the fucking wheels beat off them in a game that was end to end, and then they had an offside goal, and then it was just Chelsea's steamroll from that point on. They rough, man. This is the validation that I have needed for months. The XG gods finally came back around, and it has nothing to do with XG. It's more just simple chance creation. If you are relying on worldies, like, you will eventually get punished.
They're a streaky team, and it's the best way to put it. When they win a lot, and when they lose or don't win, I guess it adds up. It's not up and down necessarily. It's like moments of brilliance, periods of brilliance, and to periods of shit. And until they hit that little plateau in the middle, then they're gonna have issues. Because I feel like this has been the thing for 2-3 years now. They jump up the table, and we're like, holy fuck. And then they drop a little bit, and then it levels out at the end, towards the very end of the season. And they're in around that European spot, not quite challenging for titles, maybe pushing into Champions League, maybe not, but they're in and about there. And until they get that consistency, this is what it is. It's going to be streaks. You can almost say it's momentum too, just confidence. They feed on the confidence that they build. The second that confidence goes, it goes the opposite direction, and they're lost in their own doubt almost.
Every team deals with them, but they have had some brutal injuries, especially in the midfield, right? Kamara's hurt, Tielemans has been hurt, and one of Dylan's favorite players, John McGinn, their captain, has also been hurt, and we know how much that John McGinn does for that team.
He does matter.
I also think the persistence with Ollie Watkins. I mean, he had multiple chances, and in my opinion, he really fluffed. So to continue to persist with him while guys like Gesson and Malen are doing really well on loan, that also is a big question mark for me. I think this was very avoidable. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think out of these 4 teams, they're probably the most likely for me to miss out, just because it's giving similar vibes to what happened with Nottingham Forest last year. They were higher than we expected, much higher than we expected, and they looked like a lock for Champions League spots and just burnt out. And it happened quick. And like you said, with the whole XG thing, the XG on this game was like 4.4 to 0.9. So pretty much exactly how the game went. And we were wasteful. So yeah, I mean, that really, after their offside goal, it was a massacre. I was so shocked. My video is just kind of like me in a state of shock. Like, I did not think we would look that good, but again, that's just kind of what we are too. 2 inconsistent teams met, and we get the worst of one and the best of the other. But yeah, their defending was shocking on the day. And again, they're missing center backs, so there's guys running on fumes in the back line. Like, it happens, but yeah, they were shocking for a lot of that game. Even 5 minutes into the game, you were creating chances. Like, they were wide open for 90 minutes. It was crazy.
Injury issues have, again, been a thing
everywhere.
Not even everywhere, just for this Villa
there
team.
too. Yeah,
the past 2 to 3 years, we can name either the same players or players in those positions that are picking up injuries. This is Villa. This is just them. But this upcoming Premier League game is a big turning point in terms of where they're going to finish. They play United.
Yep.
They're level on points.
We just pants them at home.
So this is a big team. Yeah, if they win that, then we're talking a little bit differently. If they lose that, they probably are out.
Yeah.
But again, it's the streakiness. If they can switch it back to that positive streak, positive momentum, then I could see them staying in. But it really comes down to this United game for me with 9 games to go.
They have just a brutal rough run of this. I mean, they lost to Wolves, and then they lost to Chelsea. Then they play Lille in the first leg away on Thursday, and then they play away at Old Trafford the following that Sunday. So it's tough running, man. This is I shouldn't have said all the shit I said about Unai Emery before all this happened, because I gave him his flowers, but this is what happens every single year, and I brainwashed myself into thinking it's something different, because every time that the going gets tough, he doesn't change. I have no idea why they played as open, and they went away from everything that has worked. That in that Chelsea game that I watched, and maybe it's because I just haven't been watching Villa, and maybe this is what they've been trying to do. But fuck, they went away from everything that worked for them earlier in the season, which was low block, hit them on the counter with Morgan Rogers as your spark. And how open, stretched out Villa played against Chelsea, which they totally exploited. It was alarming. And to be fair, like the Wolves game, I bet you it wasn't super different.
Yeah, I mean, their goal difference is 5, right? Like, at the end of the day, they've scored 39 goals in 29 games. Like, for a team sitting in 4th now, like, that's not a particularly high amount of goals. Like, I mean, yeah, Newcastle, maybe that's not a great comparison. Yeah, Fulham in 10th have more goals than them, right? Like, 39 goals. It's a 5-goal difference. I think it speaks for itself, and I don't think we've been the best team in the league by any stretch. We have a plus 19 goal difference. So, like, again, they're just kind of running out of steam, but they can absolutely save themselves if they get a good result against United.
Yeah,
I'd love a draw.
That's probably the biggest game for both teams for the rest of the year.
A lot of these teams play each other.
Which team can bounce back, right? Like United do have to play, I think, everybody else within the run in here.
We play at the Bridge.
Same thing comes for Chelsea. Same thing said for Liverpool. Like, we all have to play each other. It's a massacre. But in terms of like the importance of this match, if United can get the bounce back after that and can prove it was just a blip, that's a bigger deal, because then they can go on to do something. It confirms for the exact opposite reason. If Villa gets smacked up again or lose again, like, it almost confirms what we have just been saying about how bad they have been. It's just a confirmation game.
Yeah, I think if they stack a loss or a drop of point, I think they have to win. It's not don't lose, but you have to win. If they don't do it against you guys, they go on to play like 4, maybe 5 of the relegation teams, or relegation battle teams, and then City's one of them, Liverpool's one of them. It's really grim, and they could drop points really quickly in this if they don't find a little bit of momentum or confidence going forward. That's why I agree with you. I think this game is freaking huge for both you guys.
Start Tammy.
But mainly Villa.
I was going to say, for how we know Unai Emery likes to play, how quickly after a loss at Old Trafford does he just go, we're winning Europa?
That would be fine, honestly. If you can get Champions League again.
If they get slapped by United, that might end up happening.
That's his MO. That's his MO.
Especially because they're probably favorites, if I'm not mistaken. And
they got to be one of them.
Team, especially in the lower European competitions, are favored. So that's probably the easiest way to get into the Champions League, especially big on that United game.
Especially, Mila, you didn't mention that Liverpool City is how they end the year. Those are the 2 last games.
Yes, but the Liverpool game might be the easiest one out of all of them. The other ones have nothing to live for, or they're fighting for their life. Like, it's Burnley, it's Nottingham, it's West Ham, it's Spurs.
I'd rather play like Fulham than West Ham. You know what I mean?
Exactly. If they were playing mid-table teams, I think maybe they'd have a better chance. But
relegation teams they have the same quality.
Relegation
teams have quality.
Liverpool and a title contender on the last day of the season, where you're probably going to be in a situation again where it could be very close. So they're not going to get any easy games. Is the best way to put it. And we've been talking that really no game in the Premier League is that easy, but
Teams playing for their lives.
Yeah.
Yep. I guess we can switch this to a Chelsea perspective. Grant's video is also very good for the same reasons as my United videos have been good. It was giddy, which it needed to be because that was a great bounce back performance for Chelsea in a 4-1 win where they even after the first goal looked dominant, which has been the opposite. I feel like you guys maybe have taken leads in games and then the other team kind of puts it on you. You guys playing from behind, getting that result at Aston Villa is huge. And it just flipped the script on what we were looking at from last week to this week, or Sunday to Wednesday as a whole. I thought Chelsea looked great. Joao Pedro was phenomenal on the day. I also want to say that Konsa and Mings were fucking awful.
Terrible. The more I watch those highlights, the worse.
Oh
it
my
looks.
god!
It's just terrible.
I don't even know who they're marking. Like genuine good striker play to get yourself in those positions, but also like
too easy.
Konsa was in no man's land. I mean, ugly.
Playing everyone on side. Like, yeah, it was incredibly sloppy defensive performance from them. But at the same time, I do think we've seen these players in positions before. I mean, I was talking about it in the Arsenal game where like we actually would break the press and then proceed to just do fuck all as soon as we had space. When we had space today, we were decisive. And I think, again, we missed a lot of opportunities, but even especially that last goal, right? Like one ball over the top from Palmer to Garnacho, great first touch, and then put it across. It's an easy goal, but we weren't executing. So I think Palmer's looking a lot better and physically. He's still not the same in front of goal, right? He's not as clinical and just confident, but he looks a lot better physically. So I think that's a positive development. And again, Joao Pedro looking incredibly decisive. Really good, just number 9 goals. Like he is a number 9, like prayed for times like this. So that's definitely something to be optimistic with going forward. I still think we did show some signs of fragility defensively. I think dropping Robert Sanchez is a huge call, but we saw the consequence in the Arsenal game. So I think Rosenior really does need that ball-playing goalkeeper, which Robert Sanchez is not. Jorgensen definitely scares me as a goalkeeper, but he is very good on the ball. It's a huge call to make, especially in a big game like this. But even in the first goal, you have I won't give him too much grief on this one where the ball comes pretty much right at Chalobah and the clearance just goes directly to a Villa player. I would have liked better, but whatever. Then proceeds to just run to the byline and get taken out of the game with the obvious cutback that was going to be played. That's frustrating. It's a nice back heel finish, but there's still those just moments of what are you doing in our back line that scare me. But again, he had a lot of great last-ditch challenges. I think Ollie Watkins was very generous to give him the chance, but Chalobah did well in a lot of situations like that. Mm-hmm. But again, we still show those signs of fragility. And if you put that chance on a plate for, say, Ousmane Dembele, it could be a different story. So that's still our fragility. And again, you see it when we play and drop points to Burnley and Leeds. We can play with the worst of them, and then we can play with the best of them. And I think that's been something developing here for a little while now. But yeah, you do not know which Chelsea you're going to get. I'd like to think the longer the coach is in, that he can implement more ideas. We can get our fucking heads screwed on straight and maybe start to see signs of consistency. But great result. Wrexham tomorrow, and then PSG. Like, we're going to find out. Parc des Princes. We're going to see. So I'd love to be optimistic, but I still do have my reservations. I'm definitely not getting my hopes up. But I do think we should be able to beat PSG.
Was Fofana's? I stopped watching after the third goal and put on the kept on the City game. Did Fofana get hurt and he came off, or was that just because
allegedly? But then he tweeted and said he was fine. He has been wrong about his own injury diagnosis multiple times on social media. So
interesting.
Don't know. Okay. I think he's fine. But yeah, when I was saying not going to get too optimistic, I'm saying that in a sense of running away with securing a Champions League spot. I still think we're going to have very important games down the line. In terms of PSG in the short term, they don't look good either. I think we should take care of PSG. I'm going to say that comfortably. I am pretty confident this team's going to beat PSG. That's not to say we're going to slap the shit out of them for 2 legs, but I definitely think that we get this result. I think we should be able to get this result. But consistency in the Premier League, that's more optimistic. It's more, I hope, versus confidence in that fixture.
I see that we'll talk about it more on next week's pod, but PSG and Villa are very similar in the way that they've played this year, where it's very open, like that game, in particular, like it's very open. They rely on their stars to do a lot of their dirty work, but you can beat them. They have ways that you can beat them by their defense. I'll be curious to see. I mean, fuck, their keeper is awful. Oh, he's so bad.
No, the Russian guy?
Yeah, he's awful. Yeah.
And Chevalier. Mila, you dodged a bullet, mate.
Oh my God, man.
They're both. You got Donnarumma.
I mean, I'd take Donna over him.
That's what I'm saying. You dodged a bullet.
The worst decision ever. I don't know where, like,
dynasty,
especially how good he was in the UCL, for them to just be like, fuck.
Big reason they won it. I don't know if you remember, Villa beat them at Villa Park, and Donnarumma made some ludicrous saves to keep them in that tie. They would have not won the Champions League without him.
Like you said, like it could be dynasty altering, because when you look at like the team that they let him go to, it's a team that will probably be in that race with, you know what I mean? Like fucking moronic.
Yeah, move on from them. We'll talk about that later.
Let's talk about Chelsea, more moronic teams.
Stop.
You want to talk Chelsea? No, Chelsea was. No. There's just nothing more to say. You guys beat the brakes off them.
Yeah. But I'm still not fully convinced that we run away with that. I think
which is competitive
for us.
Yeah. You guys have a lot of fixtures still, and PSG being the next one is still difficult.
Tough running as well.
You know who didn't have like that tough a fixture, but like still lost?
Holy crap.
Liverpool suck. I will continue to say that because it's awesome. It's the one gleaming beam of light that has been this season for me, regardless of how up and down my team has been. The team that spent fucking 500 million USD, I'm changing the currency to make it work, are in 6th place. I mean, fucking Christ. They won the Premier League last year. They spent 500 million USD, green dollar bills, Fenway-owned money, sent Red Sox players to other teams to afford this ludicrous transfer window. And they sit in 6th place after losing to Wolverhampton Wanderers on a last-minute goal.
Fugazi Trophy, perhaps, last year.
Yeah.
And then we will also use that for this year as well. It started that year, and the era is continuing for the record. But, yeah, I mean, that's shocking at the end of the day when you think about it in context. They literally won the league and said, all right, this manager just won the league in his first year. I think he's shown enough to invest in the vision that he has. And, yes, we knew their squad was not balanced, but similar to what we were just saying with United, just that star power in attack alone should be able to give you a really, really, really high floor and a even higher ceiling. But I think Salah's drop-off plays a gigantic part in this. I mean, they were so reliant on him, and they didn't need him in the run-in because there was no run-in. So
I don't want to hear about that, bro.
I just think that's a huge I 100% agree.
They could have factored that into the $500 million.
And I think letting Trent leave for free. I mean, he was a huge part of how they play. They literally haven't had a right back most of the year. Frimpong's not a right back and a 4, and Bradley's been hurt all year almost. Yeah, they've like what, 2 center backs, and then Joe Gomez. Like
they should bring back Concept.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster. I mean, I remember my words because I know you guys are such avid haters. You would have never predicted them to win the league, but I'm pretty sure I said something along the lines of, I can't see it go any other way because the league champions invested $500 million. So
you had too much faith in Arnold.
The floor is yours then. Tell me why I had too much faith, Mila. Go for it.
Bro, I'm
not arguing it. I'm giving you the floor.
I don't know. I think Dylan and I were pretty big advocates last year that he wasn't that good.
That's true.
And I'm sure I had a lot more points last year, but I haven't thought about Liverpool in
You guys continuously said it to me. Every time I would give respect. You were just like, they're not that good. So fair play.
Yeah. It's come into it like full circle. We might have jumped the gun a little bit, but we were right.
Definitely.
I call them Lucky Pool. There's a reason, dude. There's a reason for everything we do, and Lucky Pool, Liverpool, Liver shit, whatever.
Ekitike's sick. I like Ekitike.
No, that's the thing. I still have respect for a lot of their players. They have very good
regression
players
there.
when it comes down to it, but I have no respect for Arnie Slot. Like, I do not think he's.
I think you and Liverpool fans share the same sentiment, though. I do feel like that's a
maybe now, but like what their
last year, yes.
As long as they're getting points, they don't give a shit.
No, who would?
Which is no. You need to like you can't always just be solely results based because.
Yeah, we just talked about it. You're right.
Yeah, we literally just did. Like, if they want to re-up, like, for example, if they re-up Arteta, he wins this Premier League, they re-up Arteta, and they continue to play like this with a real target on your back, a champion's target on your back. Come on, it's not happening again. They're not going to. I'll say it right now, and if I'm wrong, then I'll shake all my Arsenal friends' hands. But if they win the title this year, they are not going to defend the title next year.
Yeah. I like that. I'll go with that.
At the end, it's complacency. If you want to say anything, like complacency, settling for what you have, thinking it's good enough. Top teams don't do that. So back Arnie Slot all you want, back Arteta all you want.
Fucking that video we did, Grant. You and me, we did a video. Milo was gone. We did a video after they had signed Isak, and we both said that they were the runaway favorites.
Yeah, they were.
They should have been the runaway favorites. And I said it during the video, and I don't know why I haven't been on every single pod since then, just fucking ripping them a new one, because I said that I would, because they fucking deserve it. Scouse bastards. No, but seriously, they're just not very good. And for a team that spent that much money, if we want to boil it down to its basic nuts and bolts, there's no reason they should be that bad. Their transfer window was in the argument. I think we all put it either in as an A or a B. They spent enough money for an entire league.
GDP of a small country.
And that was the whole thing was, he didn't get a backing. So when he gets this backing, we're going to put it. And then honestly, the whole thing about Slot is correct. Mila's right, because everything since that window has been excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse for the same things that everyone else has had to deal with. I didn't hear, and
press conferences are cinema. They're hilarious.
Like, I mean, even Amram wasn't like complaining about guys missing. Like, everyone has guys missing. Like, that's the whole.
Yeah.
Everyone has guys missing. Like, to say that you haven't been able to spend 200 of your available 500 million play, like, that's ridiculous.
To your point, I don't think he's earned the right to make those excuses. Where I look at a Jurgen Klopp who practically lost his mind trying to fight for titles in this fucking league. Towards the end of his tenure, started making ridiculous excuses. I get that. This guy is making excuses after getting backed like no other team in the Premier League this year. After winning a title and showing no fucking fight to defend that title. And I think I said it last year when they were running away with it. It's hard to defend a title in this league. And I will kudos to my club for doing that on multiple occasions, and kudos to United for doing that on multiple occasions, because it's fucking difficult. You have a target on your back. Teams adapt to the way that you played. Like, it's not easy. And every game is a big game for a team against the champions. So for Liverpool to try to just stroll through some of these games, even against the bottom feeder teams, it's not going to fucking happen. Because if relegation side Wolves can say, hey, we beat the champions, that's a good fucking thing to put on their resume, regardless of going up or down. Yeah.
He's such a loser. That's my last point on that. He's such a loser. calling out teams for the way they're playing, like as if his style of football's fucking good. You fucking wank stain.